Alrighty, let's take a look at the next step, which is the close parts of the road, like curbstones, simple grass line, pedestrian walkway. What we're going to do is simple to the lane width, just with a lot more of options to choose from. So first of all, how do we select all the outer parts? I would simply go to edit mode, go to select all by trade, and select non-manifold, which selects all the edges that are not connected on both sides. And then we duplicate them. Okay, I have snapping enabled. Let's disable it. And I press P and separate it. I'll go to edit mode. I can see that, for example, here, and press L to select those. Also, I do not want these points to be affected, even though it doesn't make a lot of difference. Just looks a bit cleaner. And now we need to make a new geometry node setup. And this one will be the simple version, with which you can get started, do most of the things, but I'm also working on a way more complex version in which we can a lot of more and complex objects with a little bit of math in it and so on. I will show you in the Discord once I have something that is usable. So add a modifier and add a geometry node. Click on new and call this side road objects. Or if you have a better name, use the better name. And we change our bottom window to the geometry node editor. And let's see. This is quite simple. We want basically the same thing we did with the road. So we converge all of this to a curve. So let's add a mesh to curve modifier. Then set the normal because set curve normal. So it doesn't tilt in places where it should not tilt. Change this to C up. And now we use the curve to mesh thing. And then we use a profile again. But we do not have the profiles. Now, here comes the part. You can either do this completely in geometry node. So you would model in here with like mesh primitives, add whatever you want. And also, I don't know, with mesh probably. And then extrude what you need to extrude and so on. While this is good, I simply do not like it myself. That's why I will add a new collection here. Right click, new collection, and call this profile. Here, profiles. Then I will simply add a plane. Go into center. Go into edit mode, merge, add a center. So I have a center point. Now here I will make firstly my grass floor, which will be just 1 meter wide. So just pull this to the right by 1 meter. Wait, local mode was this? I'm in local mode, so I can only see this one. Now, if I change this to profile or just profile underscore, call this grass edge because this will be our edge between the road and the grass. And then convert it to a curve. We're done with the first one. Let's also add a curbstone. Same method. I add a plane, merge it at the center, and most curbstones are normed in Germany. And I believe 0.15 centimeters is the height, and let's tilt it a little bit away from the road. And then we have the same 0.15 to the right. And usually it goes down a bit. And something like this. Let's bevel this. So select both of them. Control Shift B to only bevel the point. And the same up here. Here use 3 loop cuts. And let's rename this to profile curbstone. Also add second one. Let's duplicate this one before we convert it to a curve. Convert it to a curve, and I will push this one 0.15 to the right and go with minus 0.01 to the downwards to the bottom, and then the same up again. So minus 0.15 and minus 0.01 or plus 0.01. So we have like a drain. Then bevel this one. Perfect. Rename this to curbstone with drain. And then we could add something right there. Like a walkway, 1.5 meters. Let's call this pedestrian walkway with drain. And then also convert this to a curve. So we have 3 different ways, profiles. We have 3 different profiles that we can use. You can extend this to whatever number you want to use, no matter the detail level you need, just whatever you need. Go out of the local view with the backslash. Select our side road object and go to our wonderful curve. Now, we simply can drag one of these in, or we just type in object information and select the profile that we want to make first. Let's start with the grass edge. We collect this. Let's see. We can see a problem. And that's exactly one reason why this video took so long, because I am not happy with this. You can see this one goes the right way, and the other ones, these facing the wrong way. And for the longest time, I even thought about doing 2 separate geometry nodes, and yeah, but I never was happy with it. So we are going to add 2 vertex groups. The first one, grass edge, and the second one we call it grass edge inverse or invert. Let's connect these, pull this one down, this one up. Delete this one and join geometry at the end. So for all the ones that are facing the wrong direction. Wait, this one is correct. This one is wrong, wrong. That's correct. So remove it and add the inverted. Excuse me. Oh. Yeah, one of them shouldn't be reversed. Now this makes sense. This is the normal one. And this is the inverted one. Thank you. You can see here is the issue we need to fix because it's too sharp of a turn. Or even take all of them. We can all of this and Control plus G to group them. Alright, so for the group, we want to change the name attribute from the inverted and the not inverted one, and the profile. So let's rename them. So the first one is the inverted one in that case. Inverted group. This one is just the vertex group, and this one is the profile. What we can do now is we have this one and the second one where we simply can put all the things in we need. So we have also a curbstone. So let's do this one next. We need a new vertex group, call this curbstone, and also one curbstone invert. The first one, cannot click on it, so we need to type it. Curbstone invert and curbstone. And the profile is the profile curbstone. Now simply connect this to the join geometry. And let's take these, for example. Remove both of them and check curbstone. The profile is upside down, which is also wonderful. So we need to change this first. Go to your profiles. And, well, select all of them. And scale this on the 3D cursor along the y-axis by -1. That should put this in the right direction. Yep, this one fits. This one is a wrong turn. So add this one. And the same we do for the next one. Let's also give this one a proper name. Side objects. Side objects. Also the last one, connect the geometry. And let's add 2 more groups. The one pet walk drain and pet walk drain invert. I will copy the name and paste it in and change the profile to the right one. Also connect this with the geometry. And now if I disconnect the grass edge here, we have the pedestrian walk here. If we switch to wireframe, we can see that this fits really nicely with the topology of the road. That's why it just looks really cool. I don't know, I love this type of geometry. And things like This here we need to fix. Okay, let's explain this. If we have a curve to the outside, it's completely fine. This is basically our normals that is projected if we extrude it correct way. And inwards, from a certain length, you will see after a certain length, they will simply cross over, which means you have this weird crossing point here, here, here. And this is exactly what's happening on this place. Because this one goes right there, but this one goes up. So you have a crossing point here, which shouldn't be the case, but we can fix this. So let's apply it. And we need to fix this part and also this part. So simply this is just sliding around with double G. It looks nice. And here, pretty much the same thing. But we can use more than one vertex. Bottom should be alright. Now put this one closer. It's a problem here. There is no problem. This one would be fixed. And from here on out, you can simply shape your terrain next to it. We're going to do this in the next video because I spent way too much time doing this the well, good way, maybe not good way, but a complicated way with a lot of math, calculating nearly all of it. But it did not work. Well, it did not work good enough. So we currently do not have guardrails and other things, but you can have the base laid down. And you can obviously, let's delete this and bring our geometry node back. You can add as many of these as you want. And if you want to use them on other projects, we can simply, let's save this, open your, see, that's not under assets. And let's append from our this one. Let's go to node tree and append these two, which also brings our profiles in here. You can group them and move them to a new collection, profiles. Profiles. And you can make whatever you can do with profiles. And then we simply add a, let's add a plane so we can see it. Add a new geometry node and change this to side road objects. And since I'm too lazy to do it this way, let's also append. Where is it? Mesh. Really, it's called plane? Probably plane 8. Does it have all the vertex groups in here? Go into edit mode. Add a plane. Select all of the things on the top. Delete them. We just have this plane. Add the geometry node. Lightwood objects. And now we have all of the vertex groups and we do not need to type them in again. Now we put this one right up here. Call it site objects terrain and mark this as an asset. Now if we save it, open a new file, put this one up, go to file assets. We also have this one, which means if we have our road with a curve, simply make one. Let's subdivide this. Subdivision. So it's a bit round. I simply need to add the geometry node. But if we add this like shown, we have a problem. So let's join these two together. And then we can use all of these. Oh, it's here. Just wasn't close enough. So we can reuse them in project easily. So we can reuse them in our projects easily. And you can obviously, for example, there are a lot of different curbstones. A lot of different, I don't know, just different forms, different looks of it. You can create them once and reuse them on each project later. And texture-wise, we are going to unwrap all of these tools later. Because currently I can unwrap it with geometry nodes, but it doesn't give me the look I'm going for. So we're doing this in an extra topic. Yeah, that's it for today. And on Monday, we extend this to the terrain and connect it to the actually OSM terrain, GIST terrain, whatever you did use. And then we go to texturing. And after we've done all the basics, we're going back to each tool and improve it. Add a few more details. I will show you what you can do with it. But with all of these general tools, you can start building your maps.